I think one of the main keys to both success and happiness is being able to celebrate all of your wins, no matter how small. I think we're all basically quite good at focusing on all of our failures, focusing on things that aren't going right. I know I certainly done that a lot in the past, focusing on the things I wasn't happy with, focusing on what wasn't working, focusing on what I wasn't achieving, focusing on all the things that weren't going as well as I would like them to. But certainly one thing I've gotten much better at more recently is focusing and celebrating all of the wins that I have, even just the small things. And it's really made a huge difference to sort of my overall happiness and just being able to keep momentum up and giving me more drive, enthusiasm, and all of that sort of contributes to me being more productive as well. And I'm going to tell a little story which happened to me just the other day to emphasize that point. For quite a while now, I've been wanting to get into swimming as a form of exercise. And the problem is, however, is that I haven't actually swam since I was a kid. And obviously, when you're a kid and you go into the swimming pool with your mates, you're not really going to, do 50 lengths. You're just going to have a laugh and mess around, and you're not really doing much actual swimming. So because I haven't done it at all in so long, although I've been wanting to do it, I've also been quite anxious about it because I didn't really know how it would go. I didn't know, am I going to remember how to swim? And if the pool's quite busy and I'm going in there looking like an idiot, flapping about, not knowing what I'm doing, that could be a little awkward. I also had no idea as a beginner, there's so many different strokes in swimming. When I actually go in the pool, what do I actually do? Do I do breaststroke? Do I do freestyle? I had no idea what I should be doing. But when gyms were able to reopen again here in England, I joined a gym and specifically found a gym that had its own swimming pool. That was probably over 2 months ago now. So I joined that gym with the intention of start swimming. 2 months later, I still hadn't stepped foot in the pool. So 2 days ago, I thought, right, I'm finally gonna go. I've been wanting to do it and I've been putting it off. It's time I just actually got in the pool and see what happens. So I got down to the gym, put on my swimming shorts, feeling excited about trying something new. I got in the pool, just quickly adjusted to the water, and then I decided I would try breaststroke. From doing a little bit of research online, it seemed as though that would be the best one to start with. So I got in the pool, quickly adjusted to the water, and set off to do my first lap. And immediately, I only went in one direction, and it wasn't towards the other end of the pool, it was straight down. I basically sank like a stone. So I very quickly discovered, oh crap, turns out I can't swim. And the pool was actually quite busy as well. So I was like, okay, now what do I do? I've been in this pool for 10-15 seconds. If I immediately get out and head back to the locker room again, everyone's going to see me get in the pool, kind of splash around for a couple of seconds and then get back out and leave. That's going to be a little bit embarrassing. So I'm stood in the pool thinking, what do I do? I can't just leave. So I kind of just stood in the one spot and just kind of waved my arms about a bit, so it at least looked like I was doing something. And I'd done that for so long, being like, what am I going to do? And eventually, the pool at the gym is actually shallow enough that you can actually walk the full length of the pool. It's what actually a lot of the older people do. So in the end, I thought, okay, I'm just going to have to walk a few lengths. At least that's something. And at least it's less embarrassing than getting straight out of the pool and leaving again. So I just did that. I just walked length after length of the swimming pool. Meanwhile, like I say, the pool is quite busy. I'm probably actually the youngest person in the pool. There's people almost double my age, happily swimming length after length, and all I can manage is walking the length of the pool. After a good while doing that, however, I guess I began to feel more at ease in the water, a bit more confident, and just wanting to push myself as well. I thought, okay, let's try it again. Let's see if I can actually swim at all. So it got to the point where maybe just a couple of meters from the end of the pool, I would start trying to swim again, and I did manage it. So every few lengths, just maybe 2 meters from the end of the pool, I would just swim the last couple of meters, and then I would just keep doing that, but gradually add on a little bit more. So maybe 4 meters from the end of the pool I'd start swimming, then 5 meters from the end of the pool, and then 6 meters from the end of the pool. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I have actually, it was a struggle. It wasn't easy, and my technique was way off. I was wasting a lot of energy and not actually getting far. However, I was managing to kind of swim in some way, even if it was just 2, 3, 4 meters. But it did get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna try a length, and eventually I did get to the point where I was able to swim a full length of the pool. Now, bearing in mind, this is only a 20-meter pool, so it's quite a small pool. Most pools are 25, 30 meters. And the best I could manage was one length. And at the end of that length, I was really out of breath and my heart was pounding out on my chest. All these other people in the pool who were a bit older than me as well, just going up and down, up and down, up and down, length after length after length, without stopping, barely breaking a sweat. And I was giving it everything just to manage one length, and then I would have to stop, have a rest, catch my breath again. Not my proudest moment, I guess. And it's not as though I'm a terribly unfit person. You know, I am quite active. I go hiking, I run quite regularly, I do other forms of exercise as well. You know, so I am active. I guess I'm just not terribly good at swimming. But I actually came away from it feeling pretty good, and the reason for that is because, you know, like I say, I'd been wanting to try swimming for quite a while, but had been a little bit anxious about actually going and trying it, and, you know, kind of being out of my comfort zone and not knowing if I could do it. So the fact that I actually turned up and tried it, that was a huge success, and that was a huge win. So since that experience, that has been my focus. I feel really good, because it could have been easy just to make, just, you know, many of us have things that we often say, oh, I'd like to do that someday, and it's always someday, and sometimes years can go by and you've never done it because you've never had the courage to give it a go. Whereas heading to that gym, I was like, am I going to be able to do this? And, you know, are people going to be looking at me and stuff? But I didn't let that stop me. I just went there and did it. And even when I got in the pool, and initially just kind of like when I first tried to swim and I just basically sank downwards, I didn't let that put me off. Even when I was stood at one end of the pool, just stood on one spot doing this, while people are looking at me thinking, what is he doing? I didn't let that put me off. I feel really good that I was able to put myself out of my comfort zone. I feel pretty good that, whereas before I probably would have been too self-conscious, that didn't bother me at all this time. And people were looking at me because I'm just standing doing this. I really didn't care. That's a huge win. That's huge progress. I did get to the point where when I first got in the pool and couldn't swim even a meter, I ended up being able to swim a length. So, you know, that's a huge success. I put myself out of my comfort zone. I tried something new. I pushed myself, and that's a huge success and a huge win, which I'm celebrating. And yeah, I only feel good about that experience because of that. and I'm encouraged to now try it again and to improve and get better at it. So that's just one example, but it is something I have gotten much better at more recently, is celebrating my wins, no matter how small. Another example could be, when I go out to take some photos, if I come back at the end of the day and my photos just aren't very good, I'm not happy with any of them. In the past, I would have beaten myself up. I'd have been like, oh, you're never going to be a photographer. These photos are rubbish. Now I just celebrate the fact that I actually made the effort to actually go out and take photos. Generally speaking, we are so good at focusing on all the negatives in our lives, but it really does make such a huge difference to your happiness and success in the long run if you focus on your wins instead. And it's actually so easy. And yeah, it really doesn't matter how small. It's a good way of building momentum. Let's say, for example, you want to start running. So you buy a new pair of trainers, you go out on a run, and you only manage to run for 5 minutes before you complete out of breath, and you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Don't beat yourself up because at the end of 5 minutes you're out of breath. If you haven't run for years, or maybe you've never run before ever, you should really celebrate the fact that you actually went out there and went on a run. You put yourself out of your comfort zone, you tried something new, you went on a run which was something you'd never done before in the past. So if you only manage 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes that you've never done before. So you should really celebrate that, and then that will encourage you to do it again. So I really do encourage everyone, just in everyday daily life, focus on all of the wins, no matter how small. It's certainly made a huge difference for me and my overall happiness, and then productivity as well. So I hope that's encouraging. I'll keep you updated with my swimming. I'll let you know if I manage 2 lengths next time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.